Hello and welcome to the Blue Monday podcast. This is a 3 times weekly show looking into the exciting happenings of Ipswich Town Football Club, available on video and podcast. My name is Benjamin Bloom. We'll be here each and every Monday for this, the flagship show, for sometimes irreverent but always informative hour or more of football conversation. So make your Monday a Blue Monday. Dave.
Yep.
How you doing?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a little bit tired today. Tiny bit tired, but I don't know. Actually, the match picked me up quite nicely. So yeah, a bit tired, and I got home and sort of did that little snooze. Actually,
Did you?
Sort of a little power nap this afternoon. Yeah, a little snooze.
A little power nap. You don't want to go over sort of the 25-minute mark. I get a bit waspy, a bit grumpy if I.
No, I didn't do that. No. Just a few, and yeah. I think it was a bit of a fallout from sort of the festivities last night. I think.
I'm sure we'll go on to them, won't we? Renegade Statman. Is this the first time you and I have been on the flagship together?
I think so. It's been with Mikey or with Rich. So yeah, making my debut with you.
Can you walk the walk?
I think so. We'll see. Judge me at the end. I know. I've been trying to impress you for a while to come off the bench, and you give me this opportunity.
Alan, judge him at the end.
Alan Judge. I must apologise to all our lovely listeners, guys, because I haven't been on for about 3 weeks because I've been moving house. And as you can see, I'm still not properly set up. I'm just slouched out over the sofa. So I got some nice messages and some nasty messages, as social media is like, oh, he's done.
Yeah, he's defected.
He's quit. Yeah, he's
quit.
He's an insert Leeds, Norwich, Sheffield United, Millwall fan in here. But no, I'm not going anywhere, Stat, am I?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry because I think I started most of those rumours, Ben. But yeah.
How
you're a man of the people.
How many tweets or messages have you had from Derby fans imploring you to attend the playoffs?
Already, probably double figures.
Wow.
Genuinely.
Because you really are not a good luck omen for Leeds, are you?
Yeah, but
not
Leeds,
really.
So what Dave is referring to is that when I've covered Leeds games, that's 5 defeats and 2 draws in a row, and they're third in the league. So that doesn't quite add up, does it? But my argument, Stat, is I wasn't at the Wigan game where they well and truly imploded at home when it really, really mattered.
Point.
So
yeah, good point.
Yeah,
and I would also argue, not spoiling anything today, I also didn't run out to the edge of my penalty box, bash into my right back, and allow or fall over whilst taking a penalty. But that's a lot of good stuff for us to get onto. Save it. I will say, though, we were out on the Blue Monday social last night, and we've gone to the game today. Normally, we get a bit more time to reflect, a bit more prep. Dave's had a snooze. Stat's been updating his spreadsheets. I've driven home and got stuck on the A14. So we're going to be doing a lot of improvising, but we think we can do this, Dave. And it was Leeds at home. Last day of the season, Dave, and we thought, and 4,000 Leeds fans thought, and a lot of the hoteliers in Ipswich thought, we would be having a little Sky Bet thing on the pitch after this game, and lots of TV cameras, but that hasn't happened, Dave.
Well, no, I think it was summed up for me at half time today. I saw a friend of Jordan's who was a PC, an on duty PC. They'd cancelled all leave and all days off, so they were we'll get onto that. It's a slight overkill, and he was saying apparently at the height of it, like I don't know, up till 2 weeks ago, they're expecting 40 coaches.
Wow.
And apparently there was only still a lot. There's only like 20 odd. So that's how if you take it like that as a comparison, that's how it fell from when Leeds were perhaps expectant. Perhaps today could be the day of promotion or even winning the championship. To obviously not having a chance to obviously condemn to the playoffs. So
do you think there were any Leeds fans who had tickets who just didn't bother?
Yeah. I think you're right, because there was going to be 4 million fans that were going to come down. They booked every hotel and also in Woodbridge as well. There were coaches from Leeds, but I think some of them just thought it's a bit of a dead rubber. But fair play, 3,963.
Oh, think of the distance as well, Stat. That is a rubbish drive as well, isn't it?
Yeah. No, well, I think and we can compare it also to good old Harry from Bath, the lovely Harry who was with us last night. could only get a hotel in Snape, for Christ's sake.
Oh,
I think.
he wanted to go to Snape though, didn't he?
I think
Come
he
on.
probably did.
Yeah.
Really,
I
he
think
wanted
probably did.
he wanted
Yeah.
to be there, didn't he? Stat. Let me give you this lineup. You can tell me what you think of this. So Ipswich lineup. Białkowski in goal. Back four is Bree, Chambers, and Sihala. Kenlock. Skews in front of the back four. Downes a little bit off to the right, but mainly next to him. Chalobah a little bit off to the left, but mainly next to him. Dazelle. So inverted wingers today. Dazelle off the right with the left foot. Judge off the left with the right foot. Colin Quainer, who, according to Mikey, lives in a Grand Designs house in Woodbridge and is paying exorbitant rent for it, as I learned last night at the Blue Monday Social. That's now already been mentioned too many times, but I'm sure we'll get questions on it. Stat, what do you make of that lineup? Still a couple of low knees.
Yeah.
Still one up front.
I mean, my first thought was that I was glad to see that Bart was back in. Probably for his farewell game. I don't know whether Lambert would kind of be treating it like that. But my first thought was, 3 low knees again. It's a dead rubber. Joshua Manuel could have been playing at right back instead of Bree. But actually, I think he got the lineup right. I think.
Do you think there's anything in the deals though, Stat, where particularly like when you're dealing with Aston Villa and Chelsea, where they have to play a certain amount of minutes, or am I barking up the wrong tree there?
It possibly could be. It could be that as well, but it could. I think with Chalobah, maybe he was thought. He's played really well, and I've really enjoyed seeing him this season. So whether he thought, well, actually, he deserves to get a send off. And to be honest with you, as critical as I am about the 3 low knees, I was just pleased that Jonas Knudsen and Jordan Spence were nowhere near the team. So you can't have everything.
Dave, anything to add to that?
No, I don't think so. No, I mean, I was a little bit disappointed that Emmanuel didn't play, perhaps, And
he signed the new deal this past week, didn't
extension, he? They took the option, the 1-year option. So, a little bit disappointed there. But no, I guess that's what he had. I mean, we thought he was going to go with Quainer. I mean, as it turned out, Jackson appeared on the bench. And I think, was Harrison on the bench as well, wasn't he? Yeah. Obviously, I think they were worried about Jackson. He got a knock. He went off last week. So it's no surprise Quainer started up front. We'll get onto that, but I quite like seeing Dazelle in that more advanced role. I think he that sort of suits him perhaps.
So after Leeds drew with Villa, we were sort of, reserve team, he'll leave out all the best players. Then Leeds under 23s got through to the final that's tomorrow. So all of a sudden it's, maybe not the under 23s. And
I see,
Bamford's suspension came through. So Dave, this is basically the strongest possible team Leeds can play. So Casilla in goal, Ayling, Janssen, Cooper, Dallas. I don't know. He was not supposed to be fit. We were trying to figure out who would play left back because Douglas is injured. Who's the other left back for Leeds who's injured? Alioski, who's not really a left back anyway, but they had no left back basically. Phillips in front of the back four. Forshaw ahead of Roberts in the midfield with Klitsch. Pablo Hernandez down the right. Jack Harrison down the left. Kamar Roof up front. Dave, do you like the look of that?
I did. I mean, I think you put it out on the way. I was sort of looking at the WhatsApp messages on the way down the ground, and you said, "Hang on, they're taking this." It seemed inferred that they're taking this quite seriously.
Well, when you consider Dave, McGinn, Grealish, and Abraham, none of them played for Villa today, and it looks like West Brom had a nice little holiday up at Derby as well today, didn't they? Although they played a strong team, didn't they?
Yeah. So we could well have sort of been on for copping a bit of a pasting, really, but. Yeah, didn't sort of turn out like that, really, did it?
Alas, no. So we kick off, Stat, and the pattern of the game is very much Ipswich have a lot of men behind the ball and a very isolated forward. Leeds have a lot of possession, but I've been saying this all season. They function beautifully 90% of, they're a 90% perfect team. And Joe said in our WhatsApp group, for all the possession, all the brilliant pressing and the quick turnovers, show me the clear chances, the big chances. So Klitsch puts one over on 7, shanks that one. A bit of a warning for Chambers on 10. Roof runs in behind him for the first time today. And look, don't start on Chambers yet. We'll do that at the end. We'll do that at the end because it wasn't a good performance by Chambers. Klitsch into the channel, half cleared by Nsiala. Harrison puts one, but these are all half chances, Stat, until Dallas plays a silly ball across his box, and Quainer actually ends up playing. it sort of bounces for him. Downes gets in, and that would have been right in front of you. Now, was that Janssen getting across and blocking that, or was that Casilla saving it? And just give me your read on Leeds, but then the best chance falling to Ipswich.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my view about Leeds at the beginning, I think if you'd have turned up, you'd have been thinking that that Leeds, even though I've got a view about the team that they put out, I think they need a bit of confidence. And I think, I appreciate what you say about the under-23 match and stuff, but I think, play their strongest team to get a good win to go into the playoffs. And when I watched them, my first thought was this was kind of like watching a South American team pre-season friendly. They were just holding it at the back, pushing it around, left, right, and centre. And Quainer, like you say, was struggled to compete with that. But yeah, then suddenly we have a chance, and it was great. It was great, and obviously more about Flynn Downes later. But it was great to kind of see that part of his game coming out more and more. And I like I said, we'll go on to Flynn Downes, but I was impressed. I didn't feel worried in the first in the opening bit. I just thought. And Leeds actually going to stop trying to pass it around their penalty area and then start pushing out. But there was a couple of signs that when they did move forward, they moved forward very, very quickly. And I think that was the real danger for me.
Dave, do you think Lambert actually deserves some praise? Because I remember the passage that Statman's talking about where Cooper to Janssen to Casilla to Phillips, back. Do you think he actually told them, don't press the back four, and they actually played that quite well?
I think you're right. I think we set up quite well to play against that, really. Yeah, let him have it there. They weren't really.
It wasn't a mega low block, was it? It was like a mid-low block, wasn't it? So it wasn't amazingly defensive, was it? Dave, 20, Paul from Chambers gives it away, switched immediately out to Hernandez. Forshaw's on the overlap, drives at goal. Białkowski parries it away. Hernandez
behind it.
Yeah, Hernandez can't
get
that one. And then we get what Harry had mentioned, Mr. Casilla liking to run very quickly from his goal line. So I've said in my review that I think the ref probably got this right, but I'm about to speak to two people, one sat parallel with it and one looking straight at it. My take on this was it Dazelle who played the channel for Quainer to run onto?
Yeah.
Quainer runs through. He knows Casilla's coming. He wants Casilla to hit him, but Casilla doesn't hit him. He touches it round him to the right, and I think if he wanted the obvious goal scoring opportunity, he had to go the other way. Did he? I didn't see where the ball went. Did it fly out 10 yards ahead of him?
Yeah, it went out I'm sure it went out for a goal kick. Yeah. So, he lost control.
Dave, obvious goal scoring opportunity or not?
No. Well, it's quite no, I don't.
No, that's
I don't.
That's not in the rules.
No,
so like if you foul Messi on halfway line, red card, obvious goal scoring opportunity.
What is the stand forward being fouled? No, I didn't see that as obvious. I don't think. No, he sort of. It wasn't central, was it? And he was kind of going away. All right, he's running in a straight line, but I didn't really see that. I didn't have a problem with that.
But Stat. From the free kick, up steps Mr. Alan Judge. And do you want to take this one from here?
Yeah, I mean, watching it, and you've got Judge and Dazelle are both lining up, and I'm kind of thinking Dazelle's free kick from there. If he's going to put it in, look like with his left foot, then it's not going to be great. We need Judge to put it in with his right foot. I thought it was pretty good. Put the ball, as they say, in the danger area, just outside the 6-yard box. Chambers is in the middle of a lead sandwich, and they all kind of try to go for it. Chambers is trying to get his head down, and it kind of comes off the three players. Chambers is laying on the ground at this point, and it just goes to Flynn Downes, who is probably about 8 yards out. Hits it sweetly.
Really early Stat.
Yeah, fantastic goal, and really pleased to see him get which I think was his first senior goal. So really, really pleased for that. Good free kick though from Judge to put it right into that area.
Yeah, the key with the free kick was he put it in with pace, didn't he? He put it in a lot of pace. He zipped it in.
Do you remember the one at Villa where Chalobah hit the post and Judge was a bit further out? But Dave, alluding to what Stat just said, I remember you. And I know I take the piss out of you. Oh, Dave, he's got great eyes. I remember you saying about Downes when we played Birmingham, first game of last season, and Dazelle got injured, and you were raving about Downes. And I guess you would hope he would have scored his first goal already and maybe progressed a bit more. But
I think I think he'll be a starter. I think he should. I think he'll be a starter in League One. He should be. I think he's got that little edge to his game, which, okay, sometimes he can take that a little bit too far, but I don't mind that in a player so young. I think it shows a bit of confidence as well. He's strong as well. He's deceptively strong, gets around the pitch really well, up and down, good engine. And I think, yeah, Christ, if he can add goals to his game, yeah, we've got a player there. I think he should be, yeah, for me, it'd start for me, yeah.
Strangely, for the next 10 minutes, I didn't think James Collins was playing for us today, but Mr. Enciala had a very, very good 10-minute Leeds force 3 corners. And I said this after the Accrington game stat, that when the game is stretched and you're back on your heels and it's head it away, kick it away, last ditch, he's a pretty good player, isn't he?
He is. He doesn't care how he clears it either. Some of his clearances were a bit unique,
wrong foot, wrong shape.
I call it agricultural.
Yeah, well, I know. I think that's a bit unfair. Right? He was super agricultural. I think some of the things that he did. I think there was one clearance where he was almost 5 feet off the ground, almost sideways, and just somehow managed to get someone. And the ball ended. There were cases when, and you'll probably come onto it later, when Caden Jackson in the second half was in the penalty area, and he cleared that. And I always think that Enciala is just 1 or 2% away from doing something like that. But I thought he was phenomenal. Today, I think he might well become my favourite player of the team that we've got.
What I like about him, Ben, is he's an out-and-out defender. Defender, thou shalt not pass.
Like Bambi, yeah?
Yeah, a bit old-fashioned defender, and I love it. But I kind of like it. Yeah, I can see why he's your favourite. He's rapidly becoming my favourite player. I kind of like that you're always on the edge with him a bit, because he's always got that mistake in him. Every defender has, but this is such an obvious calamity waiting to happen. But I like that, I really do, and I think he'll be good for us next year. I really do.
So the pattern is the same, although as you can see from our comments about NCR, Leeds are getting some crosses in and trying to play the key passes at this point. We're running down to half time stat, and the equalizer. It's weird because I was sitting there thinking, do I say Ipswich would have been ahead against the run of play? And having done Leeds week after week after week and said, there's a point where you have to say, well, no, put the chances away. But take me through this goal. Forshaw's got it in the middle, and Ayling's getting on his bike stat.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic ball that he plays, and I think Kenlock, Kenlock in my opinion has come on leaps and bounds in the last 10, 15 games or whatever. Because he's had a good run. He's played made over 50 starts for us in the league. But he got caught out there, and you could kind of suddenly looking and seeing where Ayling is, and just thinking, I'm stuck here. Player gets down to we're all looking at the clock at this point, thinking, come on, we've just got to hold on to get to half time, and very, very quickly the ball's in the box, and what was Klitsch's first name?
Matthias
Klitsch. Yeah, he just strikes it hard and low past Bart. Bart doesn't really. I think it just goes too fast for him. I think the ball's just suddenly in the box. We're all suddenly looking around and thinking, well, my view was, Ben, that I think if we had gone in at 1-0, nobody could have argued that that have been 1-0. I wouldn't say it was harsh, but we're certainly going at 1-1, and you're thinking, well, come on, you just had 40 seconds of the half left, probably.
Dave, Joe made quite a good point. As Ayling pulls that back, and Ciala slips, doesn't he? As it comes out.
He does slip. I think to be fair to Lee, I think it's a really good goal. It's a lovely finish, and it's a real adventurous. I mean, Ayling or not, I like Ayling. Well, okay, we'll get on. Okay, all right, we'll get on to him a bit later. But I really like Ayling. I mean, he was on his bike, as you said, all game. He was playing like an out-and-out winger, for Christ's sake. So, yeah, I thought Kenlock was really good today, but. Yeah, sort of got caught out. Yeah, I guess he did, but the ball was quite good, quite a progressive ball, and Ayling was so far wide. And don't forget, his was a first-time crosser. He gets to the ball, just keeps it in, first-time cross, pulls it back. So that
probably wrong foots Toto, Dave, that forces him to slip because he pulls it back so steep, doesn't he?
Yeah, and a first-time finish. And I think, to be fair to Bart, a bit unsighted by it. It's such a great finish, and who's unsighted by Enciala, who for once didn't get in the way of it.
There was a fair bit of slipping going on in that game, though. I noticed that a few players. Enciala slipped over again in the first half.
It was one in our penalty area in the second half, wasn't it?
that was the ball he slipped over, not the penalty area. There we go. We'll get on to that. So I made the right royal cock up of texting you lot saying, "Oh, this is only going one way, isn't it? They got all the possession, They're
Yeah,
gonna push on
they'll
now."
be up.
And
They'll
Dave,
be
to
up.
be fair, they came out in the second half, and this was a little bit what actually plays in to what's a very good goal for us. But they piled men forward at the start of the second half. So, Dave, as you take up this Dazelle goal, Leeds must have two fullbacks right forward, two centre midfielders in the box on top
So,
of Roof for the
looking
starting position.
brilliant.
But you enjoyed this goal, Dave.
I mean, you've seen, you've been on most of the away games, Ben. We haven't. I mean, I've seen all the goals. For me, this is our goal of the season, without question. I would say, without question. I mean, it starts with a really, really nice, clever ball from Skews in centre mid, who knocks it off first time,
Round
and
the
really
corner.
good awareness. Downes finds some space in the centre circle, sort of twists away from his marker. And a lovely little ball. It's a nice little run by Chalobah, and Downes plays a nice little ball into Chalobah, who runs beyond his man. Chalobah then slips it. It's a lovely goal, really. Chalobah then slips it to Quainer, and Quainer does really well, which I think was he very similar to the ball he played for
John Nolan Derby?
game.
Yeah.
Nolan Derby game. Really good awareness, actually. Gets his head up, and it's a lovely weighted ball. Dazelle coming in off the right. It is a class finish. Just passes it in the corner, strokes it in the corner. I would say that is a picture goal in anybody's language. Although Leeds had, you quite rightly said, had committed men forward, but lovely goal.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. If you actually watch back that Sears goal against Bristol City, Sears' first goal against Bristol City,
When he takes it,
we actually play out from the back before that, and
point.
then Skews hits across field.
And this away Sears takes it in his stride as well, which is quite.
What
good.
I would implore you to do, David, is when you're not as high on this performance today, maybe watch both in 3 days' time and compare the two. See if
I mean, this is a team goal. It was just nice, and it was nice.
Great goal.
Okay, Chalobah's not our player, but nice again that Downes had a major part in the goal, and Dazelle finished it. So it's great and great. Our two young players, two of our young players scored. Each scored. Brilliant.
Anything on that
stat?
stat?
Football season.
Great goal. I think I counted about 10 to a dozen passes or whatever.
Touches, yeah.
1-2 touch.
I'm not Quainer's biggest fan. I don't think he holds the ball up well enough for me. But yeah, once he got it, and like you said, the vision that he had, fantastic. And so pleased, because Andre, he turned 20 this week, and he's only scored one goal for us before today, which some people were surprised about. And I think he has got goals. There's still the debate about whether he's as good as some people think he is, but I thought, for that goal, brilliant. Hopefully that'll give him confidence.
Dave, have we seen him in that inverted winger position on the right before?
I don't think so. That's the position I think, like next year, I'd like to see someone like Rowe given a chance, because I think he's got something to offer. But just getting back to the goal, it's a really nice technical goal, because you take it for granted, all right, Dazelle, strokes it in left footed, but he has to open himself up, and that's not easy. I thought it was a really good goal. But I liked him there today, and he was confident today. There was a couple of flicks here, and I saw a little back heel and stuff, and then you think, okay, this is what he's about. It was good.
Dave, he was playing against Luke Ayling, who may not be the greatest player, but runs all day, and Pablo bloody Hernandez as well.
What an engine, what an engine that Ayling's got, yeah.
Dallas robs Bree on 49 inside to Roof, smashes that one way over. Again, the pattern, lots of Leeds possession through the 50 minutes. And Ciala slides and wins one. Roof feeds it through. Hernandez into the box on his left foot, not his right. Białkowski makes the save. And then Bielsa changes the system as we thought he might. So Clark comes on. Harrison moves to the right. Clark to the left. Hernandez comes in field. But fortunately today, we did have a lot of bodies in that area. And as Harry said in the previous show, Hernandez is most dangerous just off the side, not in the big crowd, is he? I was quite pleased with Paul Lambert here, Stat, because I was up in the Pioneer, and as Lambert saw the fourth official key in the number for the substitution, he called Caden Jackson.
He was there, wasn't he?
Straight over. Stat, was this just a very fast player to play against Jack Clark? Is that it?
Well, I mean, obviously we knew that Jackson wasn't fully fit, so I don't know why, whether he felt that he could play 25 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever. But no, I just thought it was a good decision. I just thought, Come on, it was a dead rubber. We're 2-1 up. The opposition have brought on strengthened their attack, and I just think that maybe he thought, well, let's have a little bit of a Joe Royal-esque sort of thing, and maybe that we could go for it. So I was really pleased with when Jackson came off, and it wasn't for Quainer, because suddenly I thought, well, then we're gonna change it up front. But yeah, you're right. As soon as that number flashed, Lambert was there, and he was calling. And you think, who is he calling? Who? And then Jackson came back. So yeah, no, I think it was.
I must say that Jackson's little 20-25 minute cameo wasn't his finest, was it?
It was.
He had 2 minutes of a horrendous time. I think he got fouled.
Had he drunk 8 Red Bulls before he came on though? Bless him. He was trying too hard, wasn't he?
He weren't out with us in Woodbridge last night, was he?
But to be fair to him, guys, he's not a right midfielder.
No,
this was a very flat 4-1-4-1 at this point. No, and I tell you what, that's how Mick played wide forwards, how Jackson was played today. Phillips swings free kick here in. Białkowski, the idea is good to come out and punch. Doesn't quite get enough on it, and it's lobbed back over. I think you're right, Dave, got away with it. And then horribly flapping Białkowski. You must have thought this one was in from your seat. He's flapping stat. Cooper comes in behind him. The Leeds fans think he's in, heads it wide. Horrific goal nearly conceded by Ipswich here. Rolls across all the way through between our two centre-halves and Bree. Bree seems to leave it thinking Białkowski will come. Białkowski doesn't come. In comes Clark behind both of them. Cuts inside. Białkowski makes the save. And Hernandez should have scored as well. That one gets blocked there with the right foot. Were we a bit lucky there, Stat?
Oh, without a doubt. I think you're right. They just switched off, and certainly should have been the equaliser at that point. Leeds will probably look at that opportunity and think, well, they could have got back into the game earlier than that. But yeah, should have been a goal. But yeah, Bart, I think we saw everything about what Bart is today. Some great saves, some great double saves and stuff like that. But then also some disappointing parts of his game, and again when. One thing that stood out for me was that Lambert made a big point, and the players made a big point about him kicking over to the left side in front of the dugouts, and he just shanked it right out. And I was just thinking, but no, it should have been 2-2. I think at that point, Hearts were certainly in mouths there.
Dave, we're going to get a bit of a Sven, Wayne Bridge, and Ashley Cole 2 left back situation here, because Elder comes on for Dazelle, and I mentioned this a few weeks ago, Dave. We finally see Judge in a 4-4-1-1, where so Skews steps out and Judge is actually in the 10 position. I got a bit shot down when I said, "Is that the way to go?" But is it the way to go?
I'd prefer to see him there. I mean, I wouldn't say he had a great deal of impact today when he went in that position, but yeah, I think that's likely to be his best role, just playing further, further in a more central role.
And yeah, you've already mentioned Caden Jackson's having fun here. He takes a yellow here for trying to pull Stuart Dallas's shorts up, I think. And Dave, we get to 76. And if Kemar Roof heads this in, this is a brilliant goal. But otherwise, it's a bit of a dubious goal with one glorious pass in it in the build-up.
Well, it's a dubious goal, one glorious pass. There's a bloody offside in there, I think, as well.
2 handballs.
For God's sake, 2 handballs and offside. May have even been 2 offsides. They go mental where I was sitting. I mean, it starts at left back, so the ball comes from left back, and I think finds Harrison wide left, would it be? I think it's Harrison. Brings it inside, I think, to Klitsch, who then slips it to Clark. It's Clark, yeah. Clark, right side of the box. Good play from him. Clark then switches it back, just rolls it back to Hernandez, and this is ridiculous. This ball is ridiculous.
Stupid, isn't it?
Because he's got peripheral vision. Because then,
Dave, I said in my view he took a touch, and then I watched the back. He doesn't take a touch.
No, he doesn't take a touch. No, and by this time, Aylin's bombing on all game. He's playing like an out-and-out winger. But Aylin is bombed on again, and he just lifts it first time, just chips it. It's class, and it absolutely chips it. Aylin really doesn't have to do anything with it. He's quite tight to the byline. It's good skill from Aylin. Side foot volley across the 6-yard box, brilliant. Takes everybody out of the game. I think it hits Roof on the chest initially. Yeah. Hits the bar, comes out, and Dallas puts it in with his hand for about 8 yards.
Yeah. He definitely that was handball, like you say. Yeah. You kind of the possible offside before that, because like I said, I saw you and all of your fans or the fan, not all your fans, but the fans in where you were
Oh no,
sitting.
no,
and
they are Diamond fans
Yeah,
down there.
sorry, yeah.
To be fair, they are. Yeah.
They were having a right old chunter. But then,
Yeah.
you see that, and then the ball comes across. When it comes back off the crossbar, this happened right in front of me.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think, okay, and then it's hit his hand. It's gone in with his hand, and the players straight away are appealing straight away.
Mental, aren't they?
Then Skews goes off and has a word with the linesman. So I don't know whether that was about the offside or whatever. But yeah.
No, it was a thing of the ball from Hernandez was a thing of beauty.
How far are we?
Love to see. Oh, you must have seen it all season when you've seen Leeds. I know you've been raving about him. I didn't realise how old the guy is.
He's 34.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. Dave, how far are we from having a player who can play that? Who can play that pass or that type of move where you can have someone in a number 10 position?
Yeah, I mean, you'd think Judge would be capable of a ball. Someone like Dizelle would be capable of a ball like that with the vision. But it was I mean, whether the goal was offside, not me as a fan, you guys as fans can just appreciate the skill there.
Well, I think with the Dallas handball, I think it's just happened too quickly, and the ref probably presumes he's just chested it in. Or
referee had no vision. He had and the linesman was useless.
Not sure they had VAR in League One, did they?
No.
I think Accrington are just having it installed, aren't they?
Yeah. One of the pioneers of League One, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball slid through here. Look, we know what Luke Chambers has done for the club. We know what an influence and what a brilliant captain he is. But did anyone else find this quite sad? As Roof goes through and he just can't cope with him, and it's at the end of a very poor game, and he has a chance to clear it, and Roof tries to get it out of his feet. And we were talking about obvious goal scoring opportunities, and I'm afraid this is one, isn't it?
It was definitely given there. I think what I would say about Chambers is, players have bad games. It's just part and parcel of the game. And I think he's probably shouldered a fair burden this season in his role of captain, particularly with all of the changes when Hurst came in, and he's probably, the dealings that he had with Hurst and about the changes there, and then how dramatic the changes were, and then Hurst comes and then Lambert comes in again. He's having to build that relationship up again. And I think for Luke Chambers, it's been a really long season. I think he deservedly won Player of the Year, but he had a bad game. Happens to all of us, and like I said, the referee was very quick to get the red card. He showed that straight away, and so I went and had a look at the stat machine. And the last time that a captain had been sent off for Ipswich was when John Walker was sent off against Norwich, when he, as Paul Durkin said, scythed down Darren Eady.
Yeah, that was an unfair foot race, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yeah, that was. He was running in sand, wasn't he, Walkie?
Dave, talk to me about the red card. And these are not my words. A man behind me in the Pioneer today said Luke Chambers is our worst ever Player of the Year. In terms of ability of player.
I'd concur with that. I think I would actually. Yeah, Mike. Do you know what? My opinion, there shouldn't have been a Player of the Year this season. Yeah, there shouldn't have been one. I just don't hold with that. Luke Chambers getting Player of the Year. I really don't. I think he's gone. I think his legs are gone. And this this might be one way of looking at it, because he's going to miss 3 games. I mean,
Dave. It'll only be one if obvious goals. There's no serious foul play or violent conduct.
Okay, all right. So, we'll see. Look, he's going to be around. He's got another 2 years, hasn't he? So, look, I haven't got a problem with him being around the squad and for someone of his experience, but I think he's gone.
Dropping down a level though, Dave. And remember, he's playing against a very good team today.
Yeah.
He's playing against a collection of players managed by a very good manager today. I'll rephrase that.
Okay, but I think he's been terrible for a few weeks, and I think Stat hit on something there. I think he shouldered a lot this season, and I think it's all caught up with him, probably mentally as well as physically. For Christ's sake, I think it has. We'll see, because you'll still get pacey strikers, all right. Perhaps they won't get the quick service that they'd necessarily like today, or perhaps last week even. He's terrible last week as well, in my opinion. But you'll still get pacey strikers in League One. But I think his time has come. But I still think he's got something to offer the club.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah.
Great ambassador. Can't knock that. But
And come on, Dave.
I
We've
just hope,
we've
you
Dave,
know, I
we've
just
sat
hope.
here for years on this podcast praising him, haven't we? So we're not.
No, we
You
have,
know.
we have, you know, and I just hope that he does, you know, he doesn't continue to struggle in League One, because that would be sad for a guy to bow out, getting dropped, something like that, you know, at that level.
Let me kind of defend him a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, he's our second highest, second most highest appearances as captain. He's only behind Mick Mills. You know, he's played over 300 league matches. He's done that in the quickest time that any player has ever done it for Ipswich in that period of time. He's been picked by, you know, Jewell and then McCarthy, and then you got Paul Hurst and Paul Lambert. You know, I think he's a good player. I think, you know, today he was poor. And I agree with what you're saying, Dave, that over the last couple of weeks, maybe he hasn't been at the top of his game, but I think he's a great asset for the club.
I know he is.
I think that he'll be a great player for us. I just think, like I said, you know, this season he's had a lot to burden. He's a lot on his shoulders, and I think that realistically, he's just probably shattered. But like you say, both mentally and physically, and I think he can really do with the break. And I don't think he's the worst ever player of the year that we've received, and when we finish this, I'm going to have a look at the other ones, because I'd like to see who won it in 94, 95, say, for example.
Klaus Thompson, was it?
Yeah, I think.
When he scored 5 goals that season.
He was our top scorer with 5.
I put Klaus Thompson ability-wise. I think someone said ability, didn't they? I think.
Oh no, that was I added.
Oh, you added ability.
I
Oh,
added that in. Speaking of ability, Dave.
yeah.
A penalty is 0.76 on XG, so 76% chance of scoring here. So up steps Key Maroof and pops the ball down. Dave, have you ever seen anything like this? Well, apart from John Terry in the Champions League final.
No, apart from John Terry Champions League, it was like a Larson Toure corner, basically, wasn't it? He really was. You got to feel for him. You know, his standing foot goes. I mean, he lines up and he's very deliberate. I watched this play and he's quite deliberate. I thought for a minute, shit, it's going to be the old one-step penalty for a minute. It's almost very methodical, almost like a conversion. He was really
Dave,
lined it up.
Pogba does that.
Right.
Paul Pogba does
Pogba,
the silly run at the start.
Quite deliberate, and then obviously takes 2 more steps. And as stats said, you know, obviously they water the pitch at half time and stuff, and people were slipping right through the game. Unfortunately, it was his turn to slip at 12 yards out. And the worst thing about it, it's hilarious, because it hits his standing foot. He kicks it against his standing, so he kicks it twice. Eventually kicks it twice. So the ref's going to disallow it anyway. So the ref's giving a free kick, because refs isn't giving a goal kick there. I think Joe picked up on this. The ref's giving a free kick
behind the penalty spot. The other thing, Stat, you were behind the ball. I remember Chris Brunt giving Bersant Selena a great bit of horrible shithousery after slipping over a penalty against West Brom. Did Bart get up in Roof's face and give him some after missing that?
I think that there's still that spill over from the actual penalty being awarded. But yeah, I'm pretty certain he probably said you got what you deserved there. What worried me though is that when he slipped, and obviously, you know, it's not until you see later that he's actually, you know, he's kicked against his own foot. But when he slipped and the ball kind of still went, there was probably a nanosecond that I thought it's in. And then the next thing I thought it's just gone over. Now the thing that I love more than anything else is sitting in the Sir Ralph Ramsey stand, and you know, there's not a great deal of standing going on there, and I was a bit worried that when this was going to happen, that the people around me were going to sit down. So I'm still standing up, and everybody stands up, and it was just great to be there, and we're waving our arms about, and I'm fairly certain that waving my arm about was putting him off at the last minute.
I think as he deliberately sort of stepped back and looked up where to put the penalty, thought, this bloody Stat waving his arms, for Christ's sake, and totally took his mind off the pen. Yeah, no, a bit unfortunate for Mr.
It's so funny though, Dave. Come on, we watch football for things like this, and you'll say, do you remember when you played Leeds and Roof did that? You know, these things.
We still talk about the Larson Toure corner fondly. So yeah, he did a Kemar. It could well be there'll be other instances in the future, and it'll be he's done a Kemar Roof. So yeah.
And I saw Sean Williams miss one on Tuesday for Millwall as well. So I'm 2 for 2 on penalty misses in the last 2 games there. Nsiala has someone has a fight with Pontus Jansson every game anyway, don't they? So Nsiala has a good old rant at him.
That was the sort of thing you wonder whether there was something said more than anything, because I didn't really see it coming together there.
I think it was all just a little bit fierce from the handballish thing, then a penalty, and then a red card.
But I like to see that player with a bit of bloody fight and spirit. In my opinion, there hasn't been enough of that down there this season from us, so I didn't mind that at all.
Roofhead's over on 87, and we're all just waiting for the inevitable Leeds winner. Alan Judge goes up with Klitsch, and Judge is quite clever here, isn't he? He knows he's got no chance of winning it, so he lets Klitsch jump into him. And with 10 men, and I think Cole Skew's made this call, he turns around to Toto and goes, get in the box, and the 10 men are going to put the ball in the box. So it goes into the box, Dave. It gets cleared, and it's out to Bree. And I think Leeds actually do most of this right, because Bree wants to play the channel, and they press him. So Bree has to lay it back to Chalobah, who doesn't have much time on the ball, and literally just hoofs it into the box, stat man. And what the bloody hell happened next?
Well, again, like I said, we had the laugh with the penalty miss and stuff like that, and then suddenly, like you say, my first thought was, I can see what you've done there, Chalobah, but it's a waste. It's a waste, And Quayner's going, and the keeper and the defender are kind of just running towards each other, but in a sort of a after you, you after you, and then seems to bump into each other or whatever. The keeper seems to hit his own defender, and suddenly the ball breaks to Quayner, who takes it about two or 3 yards to the left of them and just strokes it into the back of an empty net, and it was
I think. I'm not sure. Perhaps Aylin Spanish isn't up to speed. Do you think? My ball.
Dave,
what did you say that? What? My ball in Spanish. Hang on.
Dave, by virtue of the fact that the keeper is on the edge of the box, is that by default the keeper's fault?
Yeah, God, it is. It's all right. It's balls, isn't it? Yeah. They both leave it for each other. Clearly, there's a lack of communication. Then they both leave it for each other. Then comedy moment when they collide. And yeah, to be fair, okay, you'd say it's an easy goal, but again, Quayner showed decent composure, kept his head down, and just stroked it in. Lovely old job.
Absurd.
And let's face it, we haven't had any of that this season.
I was going to say we could have done with some luck about 20 times. Unfortunately, it may all have just come in one 15-minute period of one game, going down to 10 men, someone falling over from a penalty, and then a lucky goal. But we'll take it, Dave. We'll take it, won't we? So there is still one more chance, and Toto does really well again here. Clark drifts over into the 10 spot, feeds it through to Harrison, and I think Toto just throws himself at this one, and it deflects wide, and then Leeds, their heads had gone after that.
But at that point, Stat, you must have been getting really excited at 3-2. Oh my God!
Well, I tell you what.
Did you get there? You probably didn't get there in time to put your bet on, did you?
No. I'll come to that. No, I bet on the app. So it was 200 to 1 today, 4-1, 4-2, and when it went to 3-2, and they said there'll be 5 minutes of time added on, and I thought,
this is my day.
We've got a chance. I'm looking at it, it's 2:21 on the clock, I think, and then at some point the ball goes out, and Kenlock's on the left about to take the throw. And he's taken absolute ages. So all of these Town fans who are around me probably think, yeah, we're really, really happy. Take your time. I get, and I'm like, get the ball in the box. 200 to 1. Willing it, but yeah, there was nothing that set my heart rate faster in the last 5 minutes, really.
But also, has spoiled your spreadsheet, or has perhaps improved your spreadsheet? The only time we scored 3 goals at home this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's when we were 2-1 up, I thought I'll take this because we've got the win, but also we're going to create an unwanted record of not scoring 3. But we deserved to score 3 today. In fact, we deserved to score 4, I think. But yeah, it would have.
Wasn't the one against Milton Keynes in the last minute as well, Stat?
We did 3-2. We beat them in the last day under McCarthy. Yeah, same thing happened then.
Yeah, unbelievable. Dave, so look, it is a dead rubber, and it was a bit of fun, and there was a lovely noise when that last goal went in. And give me your view on what that type of occasion and event can do now as we go into the summer and we look at next season. Can we get something out of? I know it's far more important. And
we can. Absolutely, we can, and quite rightly. Yes, it was a dead rubber, but the previous 3 games have been so poor, so disappointing. Hadn't scored a goal. Last week was, typically on Sky it was dreadful. 4-0 at Preston, 1-0 at home to Swansea, and nothing sort of display. So I think, although it was a dead match, you could say, given the occasion, 20,000 there, like 4,000 Leeds fans or whatever. I think it's a really important result, and more importantly, a really important performance to take into the summer. I said before last week, to bloody end this losing mentality and get a winning mentality back at the club, which we've got to do that as soon as we can. No, I think that was great today and important today. Important. That game could have petered out. You're right, and Leeds could have easily nicked up. But he scores a penalty. We're not going to win the game. We're going to, he scores a penalty. We're going to go on to lose probably 4-2 maybe, something like that. Yeah. So no, I think it's really important.
No, I agree with you, Dave, and that it gives us hope for next season, and particularly when we consider the winning goal that we had, so that our Loney Bree plays it to the Loney Chalobah, who then plays it up front, and then the Loney Quainer scores. So I get what you're saying, but there are players that won't be here next season.
Yeah, but I think you can take heart from who scored our other the performance and who scored our other 2 goals. I think prefer to reflect.
Does it matter that we were? Same as Swansea. We were lucky against Swansea to beat them 3-2. Does it matter that we didn't actually beat Leeds by playing brilliantly today and maybe got a little bit... The second goal was great, but free kick in the box in the first half, and, we talked about last time. Does it matter that it wasn't a great performance?
You get 3 points, whatever. And obviously the 3 points were irrelevant to us in the game, but... No, it doesn't matter. I don't want to go down the route of. So are you saying because we didn't play well? But I thought the game was still entertaining and stuff like that. And I thought we were competing and 3-2, brilliant. I'll take that every day. It's not
our fault. Leeds just haven't got a cutting edge, have they? That's why they're not.
Well, Dave, talk to me about Leeds then, because I've seen them be better than both Norwich and Sheffield United in the flesh this season. I was at the Spygate game and they were incredible. They were absolutely brilliant, Dave. Yeah. And I saw them win 3-2 at Villa. And
don't get me wrong. I mean,
why have they been so bad in the run-in?
Certain passages of play today was fantastic, wasn't it? The way they moved the ball quick, good movement all over the pitch. Good technical players, young, experienced like Hernandez. I mean, you could see, Christ, a great. I'm going to say good. Really good side. I don't know. I think. Going back, the Norwich game was a big thing there, wasn't it? The Norwich game, but was that back in the January, Ben? Early Feb?
Start of Feb, yeah.
Start of Feb. That was a huge, that I think, okay, Norwich, this is a big one. We roll them over and we're on our way. We really are on our way. And, that certainly put doubt in their mind. Norwich went there and played them absolutely off the park, didn't they? 3-0, 3-1. And I think that set them back a bit. And probably the Spygate thing as well. Okay, you dismiss that, but I don't think that did them any favours at all, and they just really haven't been haven't been consistent enough since the turn of the year. We've had seasons like that, haven't we? In some ways, almost reflects our season in 14-15, not quite, because obviously we had a 27 goal forward, but that's what they haven't got. They haven't got
Sharp, Adams, Pookie,
Rodriguez,
Abraham,
Gale,
Mopai, Gale. Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
That's why I think they could well miss out.
Stat, when you look at Leeds, when you look at Leeds stat, do you kind of agree with what I was trying to say on the previous show, that they've got a world-class manager, a few decent players, and he's done an absolutely superb job to even get them third?
Yeah, and I think they kind of play the sort of football that I like watching and stuff. And a bit. I know what Dave is saying about not having a 20-plus goal scorer. But what I would say is, once you go into the semi-final of playoffs and possibly onto Wembley, it's about different individuals compete on the day. How many times have we you lose 1-0 in a play? I don't think you're going to score. You don't need a player that's going to score you 7 goals in 3 matches or anything like that. So I fancy Leeds.
Interestingly, from a stats point of view, Derby get in today, tie us on 8 for the most appearances in the Championship playoffs now. So 8 for Derby as well. But they have only 1 win as well, don't they? Yeah. They're just as bad as us, dearie me.
They are, aren't they?
Should we do some questions then, guys?
Go.
Beans, I've got no script. We'll do a few of these, Dave.
Go on in.
Statman, this is from Dylan. Could Dazelle be a starting winger next season? And has Judge disappointed so far? Poor old Judge is like he's the great white hope. No, he's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you said that because it's very much like the British press. You know, we build somebody up and then knock him right down. So I think the first bit about Dazelle
as a winger.
Yeah, I see him in the middle of the park. That's it for me for the answer for that one. With regards to Judge, I'm not sure. I watched him again today, you know, against what I consider to be better opposition that we've played recently, and he didn't quite seem to be at the races. And again, I don't want to kind of label these players as mentally tired, but I think, you know, when he's come here, there was that big weight of expectation on his shoulders, and the longer you go without scoring a goal, I'm sure that probably weighs on his mind. And I didn't really see it today, and I just think he needs a break. I think he needs a break and a good pre-season, and hopefully he will prove what we think he could be. You know, this is what I'm hoping will happen next season.
If he is what we think he could be, the one thing I see, and if you go back to our brilliant interview with David Johnson, he said when Jim Magilton came, he screamed and he moaned at everyone. And you see when James Bree and Bialkowski missed that ball today, Judge comes from left midfield and is chewing both of them out. So if he can raise his game up, I think what he also brings in terms of raising the standard of the others, like you say, Dave, will bring the others with him. I hope that's what his function will be.
Let's just face it. Look, he's got the potential to be the best player in League One. You know, without question. But yeah, I'm a bit like Stat. He's sort of flattered to deceive a bit so far. I mean, he's good. He got an assist today because, you know, again, we've been knocking him for that. So yeah, he got
Dave,
that.
That won't go down as an assist if that's the Leeds. Okay, yeah, I know what you mean, but
you know, yeah, it was a better quality free kick.
It's a great quality free kick. Yeah. Dave, Justin Crane, what chart-topping song sums up the season? After the promotions and relegations, I suggest Joe Dolce.
What? Shut up your face.
Shut up your face, I guess.
Yeah, it's as good as any. Isn't it? Didn't someone say a few weeks back it was Ultravox when it dancing with tears in my eyes, wasn't it?
Nothing.
That's it. Well, today was there is a light that never goes
He's
out.
doing it like Bowie. And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side, such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck... That for about 3 words, that was quite good. Kills the both of us.
Well, you know what? I'm really...
the pleasure, the privilege is mine. Frankly, Mr.
want to say about Blue Action, it was absolutely fabulous what they did. And I've worn the Morrissey T-shirt just
but it's
because...
a Smiths song, not a Morrissey song.
Was he...
Was it? No, that's
let's not go down the
Morrissey had nothing at all to do with that.
Morrissey is the Smiths. But you know what? I thought when I was out walking, and I thought, you know what we should do?
Killed me.
We should be one of these teams that has a really strange song that we sing, and we should now sing that.
And I'll meet you at the cemetery gates. He's not going to say anything now because we're just going to sing over him every time. I used to have the first of the gang with a gun in his hand. That was my ringtone. And the first to do time. And with a bullet in his gullet and his first... Oh, yeah. No, Morrissey is a prat, but he's a brilliant musician, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll give him that. And the banner was excellent, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's go back to the banner. Yeah, the banner was brilliant. You know, fair play to Blue Action for doing that. I don't have a Blue Action pin badge, so that's why I put my Morrissey T-shirt on, just to acknowledge that they've done that, and actually to acknowledge the fact that they've done some brilliant work this season. I know what you're saying, Dave, about dancing with tears in my eyes, but they've certainly helped boost the atmosphere, and it was great today when we scored to see flags suddenly appear in the Zimbabwe lower. And they're all waving them, which was brilliant.
Did you? I saw limbs on the winning goal. That's the first time in a while. There was some movement behind the goal there, wasn't there? That was lovely. Anyway, Harvey Davis, whose turn is it?
I don't know.
It's your stat. What would be your ideal first game of the season?
Fleetwood Town.
Joey Barton.
But mainly because I don't know anything about them. The other day I thought
Okay.
Fleetwood was near London, and then I had a look and I googled it, and I went, "Oh, it's near Blackpool."
Mine,
So
mine,
that'll be.
mine would be Tottenham away, I think, because it would mean we're in the Premier League. But
Oh, I didn't realise
no,
that. Well,
no, no, no.
actually,
I've
Barcelona, because we were playing in the
the
World
new
Club
European
Championship.
Super League. Yeah.
But no,
I've not.
like Fleetwood, at home I don't really care because
It's
I
quite
found
nice.
out the league that you always play every team home and away. So there you
Quite
go.
nice yesterday that a club like reasonably close, like Southend, stayed up and Plymouth went down.
Yes, good. Big up Southend. That would be a great away day.
Yeah.
Jack Barham asks, what are the officials going to be like next season if the officials in the Championship can't see an obvious offside for Leeds' second goal?
I don't think they're going to be any improvement on the officials in the Championship, let's say. So, yeah, be prepared for, I think you've got to prepare yourself for some inconsistency next season, I should think,
But
from what I understand.
When we're talking about inconsistencies, the referee today, did he really know what about playing advantage was? He got that terribly wrong
He got
for
it wrong
Leeds on 2 or
twice with
3
Leeds,
occasions, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh, Pablo didn't like that, did he?
No, he did not, no.
No.
No, I was all for. No, definite free kick. Their best player's got the ball on the edge of the box on his right foot.
Yep.
Pull that back. Pull that back all day long. This is from ITFC. Will be great again. Let's not go into it too much. It says, name your starting 11 for August based on what we have and what you see changing. Can you just go highlight stuff then, Statman?
New goalkeeper. Josh Emmanuel at right back. Central midfielder and another goal scorer.
Dave?
And I think the rest of the team will be built around that. Dave mentioned a player earlier, and I'm glad he mentioned him, Danny Rowe. I think he'll be could well be a big player for us next season.
I think he could be. I mean, you know, conceivably, look, we could start with a sort of a midfield four of essentially, if he's not playing further up, but Judge, Bishop, Downes, Hughes, or maybe Hughes. Let's don't factor him in.
Yeah.
I mean, surely that's going to be as good as anything in the division, isn't it? For God's sake, surely. Yeah, I agree with Stat. We need a nasty. I'd like to see a nasty, ballsy midfielder come in, experienced midfielder come in, and we need a front player. Yeah, ideally an out-and-out goal scorer, but certainly someone with a big physical presence outside, up front, with a perhaps better touch and hold-up ability than Colin Quainer.
I'm just a bit concerned because when we were
Even more maybe.
When we were dissecting Hurst and whatnot, it was all, you need to have experience around and for example, if Chambers was to not be there, Skews needs to be there, doesn't he? And then they need to have somebody to guide these young players through a little bit. But there we go. I'm sure Lambert's got that covered.
Well, it's going to be announced this week, isn't it? Early this week, the departures will know, won't we? So,
the departure lounge, Dave.
Yep.
Airport.
Check-in. Out.
Airport.
The
The motors. Chris Hodges. Dave, I would today's first half. Oh, I would say he's probably missed that word out. Was the most gutsiest performance we've seen. Most notably, Toto. Where was this when it mattered?
With regard to the overall performance, I don't know. I think I don't think you can knock the players for not being gutsy all season. They just haven't been good enough, And today, let's face it, they got away with it a little bit. Leeds with a bit sharper up front. They could have been out of sight by half time. But gutsy in a way that we hung in and we could have easily gone in 1-0 up, but for the the last minute goal there. So I don't think we haven't. There's not times when I don't think it's times we've been laid down this season. The results show we haven't actually been, other than Preston. We haven't
Preston,
actually
wasn't it?
laid down and been beaten outside.
There has been games though, particularly Middlesbrough in the QPR games, where the opponents have eased off. And if they'd really gone for us, they could have.
Yeah.
Chris also asked, what are the plans for Blue Monday Pod over the summer? Well, Chris, we'll do our season reviews. I mean, we could do them per manager this year, couldn't we? But we'll probably do them per sort of 2 months and try and get different people on the team up. So we'll figure that out. On a similar thing, Steve Sparrow asks, What will @Benjamin Bloom do next season? Does he stick with his championship roundups, or will he be moving to League One? Steve, I am a part owner of an Ipswich season ticket with 2 of my other colleagues, so I will be at as many Ipswich games as possible. But hopefully, you're very understanding of the fact that I've built up a nice, good championship following. So I'll continue to do that and try and do both how we're doing it at the moment. But we have an amazing team at Blue Monday. So if I wasn't to be around the odd week, do not worry about the standard of these podcasts. They will still be fantastic. And I implore people to be understanding about that rather than some of the crap I get on YouTube. No, you deserted. Yeah, there we go.
He's going to Premier League with Norwich.
Norwich, Sheffield United, Sports Millwall. Long-haired twat. Arthur,
And that's just us.
yeah, that was just at the meal last night. Yeah. Arthur Pickthorn.
Good old Arthur.
Yeah. Does Bree playing the last few games indicate that Lambert doesn't fancy Emmanuel as his starting right back? Whose go is it?
Stat. Go on.
Stat.
Well,
You
he
like Emmanuel.
signed a new contract. I like Josh Emmanuel. I would hope to think that he'd be our starting right back. Not quite sure why that happened today, that Bree got the shout. But again, it could go back to the point about maybe he needed to play a certain number of games or starts or stuff. But yeah, no, Josh Emmanuel is who I'd start at right back. He played there, the season. And the season with Rotherham. So yeah, I think he's ready to play at that level.
I think you hit the nail on the head earlier, Stat. Kenlock's now played 50 games, and you can start to see the benefit, can't
Dave,
you?
Dave, is there a sense with Kenlock they've worn him in now and they're just going to go with him? Do you know what I mean? Whatever happens, they just
he got caught for the. He got caught, but it was perhaps an exceptional ball by Forshaw, and he won't come up against many adventurous right backs.
And with the Emmanuel thing, far be it to mention our illustrious neighbours because they get mentioned a lot. They went with 2 young fullbacks, but the left back was bedded in first before the right back joined him. They didn't do it at the same time. And God, if we replicate anything like those 2 fullbacks, we'll be all right.
I think we might struggle to do that, but no, I'd like to see him in there.
But you take the point as in general, David. Dave, this is from Neil Jenkins, who appears to be in the Barcelona Nou Camp in his profile picture here. As we'll be playing in the checkertrade.com. They've used auto-tune on that. It goes, you can hear the auto-tune on his voice there. It's like, if I did that advert, I wouldn't have auto-tune on Stat. What
would you do? What would it sound like?
Would you do it in a Morrissey? The Bowie style. Checkertrade.com.
I'd do it in the Morrissey style. Checkertrade.com. But every voice you do is
Checkertrade.com.
Is David by Checkertrade? Do you know where I lived in Aylesbury until previously? There's a statue of David Bowie, and in 5 years when he goes pushing through the market square. He's talking about Aylesbury Market Square.
Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah.
So and there's a statue. There, though, was he?
No, but there's a whole statue of it, and a plaque and everything. So it's obviously...
It's a homage to the song then, is that what it is?
Yeah. So literally, I couldn't walk through there without singing 5 years by the much missed and wonderful David Bowie. Anyway, this is Neil Jenkins. I really got hijacked this question, didn't it? As we'll be playing in the Checkertrade Trophy, keep going. Next season, what are your favourite memories of Ipswich in crap cup competitions? He's asking Zenith Data, Anglo-Italian, Anglo-Scottish.
My favourite memory of Ipswich in crap cup.
I know where this is going.
1973 Texaco Cup, 2 legs, 1-4-2. Beat them from up the road. That's my favourite.
What about someone getting punched against St Johnstone?
That was obviously at the time a Premier Cup competition. A favourite, I don't know. I can remember some of those Anglo-Italian games against
Tony Naylor for Port Vale
and Brescia and teams like that. Yeah.
For me, it would be the Simod Cup against Norwich. I think it was in 1988 when Simon Milton scored in extra time. It was about 118th minute he scored.
Yeah.
What did we play when we played Luton and we beat them in the penalty shootout? Was that a Zenith Data Systems?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Didn't we also lose to Chelsea on a penalty shootout?
We did, the Full Members Cup and all that sort of stuff. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to the Checkertrade because, as you know, I've never watched Ipswich at Wembley. So I'm kind of seeing this as a positive approach that actually we're going to go to the Checkertrade Trophy.
If only there was a place where podcast listeners could get more of this type of chat about... I think it's time for a plug, isn't it, Stat?
Go on, Stat.
What, the history show?
Yeah, he's got it, Dave. He's got what I was referring to from those clues, hasn't he? Is it as
it's
big as
funny.
the bread bin?
Oh, it's huge. So
He's got it from those clues. Sorry, carry on.
Dave mentioning the Texaco Cup against Norwich was a game that we covered this week in the history show. And to be honest with you, it was our last one of the season. I absolutely really enjoy it, and I enjoy it. I've actually enjoyed it more this season because Dave's picked the games, and so some of the games he's picked has not meant really a great deal to me. And then doing a fair bit of research and looking at old books and programs and looking at old DVDs and videos and stuff, and you get the information, and it's fantastic. And this is the kind of Dave and I will go off on random tangents all over the place, and I'm always conscious when I'm on this show. I'm thinking, bring it back, don't go too far away. So what I would say is, never been to Wembley, and if you want to hear about why I missed the Barnsley playoff final, then listen to and watch the history show. But the Chequered Trade Trophy, I'll take that. Wembley place. I don't want to go up in the top two. I want to finish third. We want to go through the playoffs. I want to go to the playoffs at Wembley as well. So we're going to have a double Wembley date.
Did you see that stat quickly, Dave? Sorry, there's only like 12 teams out of the 92 that haven't played at the new Wembley, and we're one of them. Because since Spurs make sure every Premier League team has played there and other stuff. But sorry, what were you going to say, Dave?
Well, I'm just going back to the pod stat. Just had a WhatsApp from Joe earlier on whilst we were recording this to say, catching up. Oh no, hang on, what was he saying? Catching up on the pod. One of his pals, a guy called Alex Ford, was a mascot. And he knows him.
F-O-O-R-D, Alex Ford, yeah.
Yeah, he knows him. He said
fantastic.
And it ties in a bit with Sheepy quiz because he lives in Eton apparently. I mean, it's so many connections.
Yeah, the Sheepshanks quiz, you'd love that, Ben. If you haven't watched it already, how they
incestuous, wonderful. Well, I once played a this is getting ridiculous now, isn't it? I once played a wedding at a farm that David Sheepshanks was present at, and there was not many people there, and I got to talk to him. It was fun. Rodney Marshall, he asks about next season's team, but he picks out two names, so you can take one each. Stat talked to me about Gwion Edwards. Dave talked to me about Harry Wright. Dave, go first.
Harry Wright is what I've seen of him is he's a really good shot stopper, but he's very short. His physique for a goalkeeper. And speaking to Joe, who obviously is the doyen of the academy, knows everything about the academy, and he was agree with that. I mean, he said Harry Wright, excellent shot stopper, and I think he played very well in the 23s semi-final the other night. But he said he's just like 5'10", so he hasn't really got that stature, and he's like, I think he's like 19 or I think he said he's like 19 or 20, something like that. So I'll be surprised if he is. No, I'm not surprised if he's like the number two, but I'd be surprised if he won't be the number one. I don't think, not yet. Anyway,
Stat is
stretching.
Is Gwion Edwards going to sign for Millwall for £1.3 million in July? I just made that up.
All right, I was going to say no.
What?
No, that's not going to happen. I think he's going to be with us, and I think again, if he's somebody that can avoid injuries, and I really want him to have a long spell in the team, and I think it'd be great. I think I've liked him, and the flashes that he's had, and at some points he's disappeared off the bench. I'm not quite sure why, and other times he's not been playing because he's been injured. But yeah, I think Gwion Edwards will be one of our top players next season.
Right, we've got to cut this back. We'll do a few more. One word answer, Stat. Where did you get your shirt from that was in the tweet last night?
Oh, it's a Guide London shirt that I got from was it Twist and Shout outside the Butter Market or something like that? Yeah.
Daryl asks, how many Blue Monday members are joining him in Germany this summer? Well, we know Richard is definitely confirmed, and
Richard's there.
There might be one other.
I'm sure there might be.
When is it again?
I don't know.
Someone said it was early July, didn't he?
Yeah, I'd struggle early July unless
I'm away.
Leaving a Friday for us. Yeah.
There's loads of other questions. There's just one quick one. Joe Fairs of This Parish asks, has Statman sobered up? And I would like to guess that in a completely debauched student-like scene, I sat and watched 4 grown men on this podcast drink probably 30 pints between them last night. Unbelievable. How's your head, Statman?
Oh, I'm flagging a little bit. I must admit, I didn't have a sleep, and I was a bit worried that if I did have a sleep that I'd struggle even more with this. It was a great night, fantastic night. Great food, great drinks.
Great company.
Of course. ended up going to a part of Woolwich I didn't really know where it existed, Dave. That other bit where Mikey took us up with the clock tower bit in the middle, whatever that was. I don't know what it was.
Market Square.
And you
Not
know,
the
I've got to
first
say
person
that,
Mikey's taken up the clock tower.
well, that's very true. And the people were so friendly. They oh no,
They
hang
weren't,
on.
were
Most
they?
of the people were so friendly.
They're a
And then
bit
we went to
standoffish.
that other hotel that they weren't that keen with us being there, and I don't know why, because all we were doing was just talking. But I think they worried that we were foreigners being brought in. But yeah, so I had a great night, and I have sobered up. And
I've got to say, Stat, thanks to Joe's lovely wife Emma, who came out at the God's hour to pick us up. I mean, heroic. So
There
we
you
must say
go.
thanks to.
yeah, thank you. I
It's-
thought, like I said, I got home I thought I'd actually caught the train with Rich.
Is my voice
this-
coming
this
through
is-
really distorted?
No,
No? Sounds all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a bit of a weird noise on
yeah.
my end. We will
So,
keep going.
I thought I'd caught the train with Rich at 10:30, and I said, "Are we going to watch that Madeleine McCann documentary?" Bizarrely, and she wasn't very happy that I woke her up because it was coming up to 2 o'clock. I have no idea.
I don't know what time I got in, about 1ish, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to do the roundup, but here comes a curveball because, well, we don't care about the championship anymore, do we?
Don't
It's gone.
give a shite.
So we're going to say congratulations to Luton and congratulations to Barnsley, who have switched with us already. Dave, Charlton versus Doncaster and Pompey versus Sunderland. Who do you want to lose out of those four?
Who do I not want to? Well, who do I not want to go up?
No, who do you want to go up?
Very much Sunderland.
Yeah. What,
But yeah, I think
parachute
so.
money or distance?
A bit of both, really. Parachute
Bit of
money,
both, bit
distance,
of both.
plus we all have a day out in Pompey or a couple of days.
Yeah.
Donny, don't look quite like Donny, and yeah, Charlton's always a great away day. So yeah, purely from that point of view, I think.
Agree with that stat?
Totally, 100%.
And we say commiserations to Plymouth, Walsall, Scunthorpe and Bradford. Plymouth and Bradford probably journeys we didn't want to do.
Scunthorpe, I'm sure, Ben, you were looking forward to do, so you could put them as another.
Well, you've just got to look at letters number
addition on shit list.
2, 3, 4 and 5 when you're talking about Scunthorpe, haven't you? And we'll say no more than that. League 2, well,
Yeah.
we've got to say congratulations to the Cowley brothers, Lincoln, Bury managing to do it with complete financial difficulties. And as I've just moved to Bedfordshire, we'll celebrate the MK Dons as my best away trip of next season, my shortest away trip there. Statman, we've got Mansfield and Newport and Forest Green and Tranmere. Who would you like to see go up out of those four?
Forest Green.
Where is that? Where is it?
Well, I think it's near Fleetwood in London, isn't it?
It's Forest Green is like near the bloody Cotswolds. It's quite nice. Yeah, Forest Green.
Way out
somewhere
west.
Between like Birmingham and in that sort of a bit below Birmingham, sort of over to the southwest, I think. Yeah, like Cotswold almost. Yeah, nice.
Nice. Okay. Should we try the new? Should we try the new format CV game then that I didn't invent that Joe has brought over. So the idea is I'm going to tell you a player, and you've got a bid on how many of this player's clubs you think you can name, and then the other guy can either challenge you to name the clubs or. So we will go with David first. Because David just outranks everybody in everything generally. Can I just say the best moment of the meal last night, David genuinely said, completely straight-faced, when I played, I never used to celebrate my goals. I was just like, whatever. It's the best line I've ever heard. Right foot, left foot, whatever. I just shrugged.
Didn't score that many.
I just shrugged and walked back to the halfway line. If anyone gave me a high five, I'd be like, don't touch me. That's what I do. No pros here. He said no pros. Dave, last night a sticker of Chris Kiwomya was stuck on Joe Fair's chest, wasn't it? So Chris Kiwomya had 6 clubs. How many of the 6 do you think you can name? And Statman, do you want to put him into play or challenge to beat him when you find out how many of the 6 he thinks he can do?
Hang on. Wait a minute.
We're going abroad for some of these as well, Dave.
Are we? Well, mate, no. Hang on. Hang on a minute.
Chris Kiwomya.
Yeah, I know.
From Bradford, apparently.
Yeah, he is from Bradford.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, I've no idea he played through or abroad. I'd say 3.
Well, I think we know what the 3 English ones are, Stack. Do you want to be brave and try and name one of the...
Yeah, all right, I will.
So
the
you're going to say 4?
Yeah, I'll say 4.
Gus, that.
And I've no idea what the 4th one is, so I'm going to grasp it. I'm guessing it. So Dave's would have gone for Ipswich, Arsenal, and QPR.
Mm-hmm. He was a bit of a nuisance for QPR against us. I remember him scoring a couple
scored
of
against
goals.
us. Yeah.
Actually, I can do 4, but go on.
Well, you can't now.
Too late.
That's
I
not
know
how the game works. Yeah.
Notts County.
No, he was on the management team at Notts County.
That's exactly what I'd have said, Stat.
But didn't play there. So Dave's going to get that one. Le Havre,
Well done, Dave.
Selangor, don't know who that is, and AAB Aalborg of
Selangor's in Malaysia.
Isn't that where Papa Dooba Diop goes? Said that wrong.
Papa Dooba Dee. Mr. Obadopoulos, is that where he played? Yeah.
Isn't that where El Hadj Diouf comes from? It was a Senegal joke, but I've fallen over Papa Bouba Diop, which is easily done. Statman, for this one, we're going to give you a real big advantage here, because this is one of your friends. Mr. Danny Sonner played for 14 clubs.
My God, Stat.
Dave, you sounded like Janice off Friends then. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
How many of the 14 clubs, one of them he played for twice, can you name, Statman? Danny Sonner.
Right, so I haven't brought a pen. That's not right. So I'm just going to...
Just freestyle. Rock the microphone.
3. Right, I'm just going to keep talking. I'm going to say that he can play for... That's 3, that's 4, 5.
Oh, he's going to be good at this one, Dave.
5.
Name him.
Name them 5.
Oh, I'll go 5. 5, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go carry on.
Bruce and Cole.
Bruce and Cole, yeah, 1.
Yeah. Ipswich.
Yep.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Yep.
Walsall.
Yep.
Ooh.
Twice.
Yep.
But you don't get cheeky for that. One more, Stat.
Is that one more? Who did he started his career off? And I always get his start of his career off a little bit different to. It's not a little bit different. Exactly, it's the opposite. Exactly the same as John Walters. And I'm a bit worried. There's too many B's there, and I've got some names that are coming for me, and I'm not quite sure how much he played. So I'm going to go with Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest is good.
Played for Birmingham, didn't he? Played for Birmingham.
Birmingham,
as well.
yeah.
Do you want to hear him? So Burnley,
Wrexham?
Bury,
Burnley, Bury, yeah.
FC Erzgebirge AUE, don't know what that is.
AUS, yeah.
Preston, Carl, Ipswich Wednesday, Blues, Walsall, Forest, Peterborough, Port Vale, Walsall again, Wrexham.
Port Vale, yeah. Yeah.
Well done.
Wrexham.
Yeah, well done. Last one, although has Statman won both of them, Dave?
No, it's 1-1.
Oh, it's 1-1. Oh, good.
Yeah.
And amazingly, Dave, I went very quiet earlier in the pod because you've already brought up the name Kiefer Roberto Francisco Moore, always a favourite, down in Harry's part of the world, in the southwest there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, let me start again. 1, 2, 3,
where we got
4,
him from.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9
I know.
clubs. Kiefer
9
Moore.
clubs.
What?
9. He's got more clubs than Phil Mickelson.
More clubs than Tiger Woods. Mate, I've no idea. Probably I do 3, I think.
Oh, come on, Dave.
Come on.
I'm
3, you're
brave.
trying to put the pressure on me by saying 3, and then so if I say he's trying to put the pressure on me to say 4 because he's and then if I get the 4th one wrong, he's 1. I think he should. Come on, Dave. This isn't no dead rubber. Go for it.
I'll do 3. Yeah,
No, come on.
hang on.
Make it more than that. Come on.
I can't. I don't know anything. Kiefer Moore, so I can say he played for Forest Green, Ipswich, Barnsley.
Forest Green, Ipswich, Barnsley. Who was he on loan at last year, Dave? Scored loads of goals.
It's gone, mate. I don't know. Oh, no, I do know, but I just cannot. Rotherham.
There you go. He's got 4.
Rotherham, yeah.
Would you have got more than that, Stat? Can you name any others?
Did he play for Yeovil or something like that?
He did.
Yeah, he played against us. Good. Yeah, he did, Stack. Good shout.
So I think I won that
Stack
one.
should
Yeah,
get
yeah.
I
that
think
one,
you
yeah.
draw that last one. We'll give you 1.5 each. Yeah.
Where else did he play for?
Truro, Dorchester, Yeovil, Viking. I assume that's in Norway. Forest Green. Where is Forest Green? Don't answer. Torquay, Ipswich, Rotherham, Barnsley.
Barnsley.
Lovely stuff, guys.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm feeling very relaxed. I'm just laid down on my sofa.
Hello.
We've been without script today, but don't worry, this isn't the end of the season for Blue Monday. When I get my act together, we'll figure out what we're going to do. Sorry, I'm showing a bit too much flesh there, aren't I? Stat, if you're watching on YouTube.
Quite
Yeah.
alluring.
Yeah.
You can imagine at the beginning they'll say there'll be some scenes of a sexual nature. The Blue Monday podcast.
Come on, the three of us, all the scenes
Yeah.
of a sexual nature.
Would have been shown on screen 3 of the ABC back in the late 70s.
Just after Flesh Gordon.
Just after Flesh Gordon.
Wow. We probably ought to put a stop to this before it gets bad. So we'll be doing our season review stuff. We'll get the guys' opinions on the playoffs, all sorts of stuff. But if you do have any ideas, please stick them in the comments on YouTube or tweet us at Blue Monday ITFC. David, have you got anything humorous or pertinent?
I heard quite a funny one-line joke last night, which I think I might have told you, which someone told me about. He said it's about his mate that's just recently got a job on the board of Old MacDonald's farm, and he's a CIEIO, which I thought was really funny.
That's unbelievable. Our friend Daniel Hill tweeted
I saw him today.
Said you saw him today. I wanted to make a joke because he met the Undertaker at a meet and greet earlier in the week. So in the same week, he's seen Ipswich win and met a dead man.
No, better than that, he's seen Ipswich win, met a dead one, and been on the Naked Football Show.
Oh,
yeah.
What a week!
Life.
What a week.
So was Dave the dead? You're not the dead man, are you?
No, the Undertaker's a dead man, isn't he?
No, I'm not the dead man.
All right.
Look at the size of that ham hock. Look at the girth.
Why is he dead if he's the Undertaker? Surely he's...
No, he's a dead man.
He buries the dead.
Yeah, so that doesn't...
No, he's dead himself.
Where did he see him? Where was the meet and greet? In America? Has he been to America?
London,
he couldn't have been. He's on the Naked Footy Show.
Yeah.
He's at the cemetery, yeah.
Yeah, the Cemetery Road, yeah. And GB lives up there. He probably did two in one go, didn't he? Sorry for giving you a dress out, GB. Statman.
Number 63, isn't it?
Oh, you got...
Sorry, shit. No.
666. 666 Dead Man Road, Cemetery Street. Statman, plug the history show and your amazing Twitter page, which reached a milestone.
5,000 followers. I'm really quite proud about that. So thank you for everybody that kind of comments and interacts and stuff like that. And yeah, the history show, I think we've wrapped it up for the season, but there's plenty there for people to listen to. This week's show dropped, I think, yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I think, Texaco Cup, like we've got in there, haven't we? We've got Ipswich and Man City challenging for the Champions League or relegation in there as well. Fans watching, not going to Portman Road, not actually watching the game. They're turned around and they're watching the TVs on the executive box. We cover that as well.
The Leggy Lovelies.
Yeah, Leggy Lovelies. Yeah, Colin Cricket and Johnny Table Tennis all get a mention. So if any of that floats your boat, then please give us a listen. And we hope to do a couple of specials during the summer. We've got a few irons in the fire. So yeah, that would be fantastic. But yeah, really enjoyed it.
Lovely stuff, and I should do the gushy thing because it's the end of the season, isn't it? We always do this, Dave. Don't we? We always do this. Our fourth year of podcasting, 3 shows per week, team bigger than ever, a sold-out live show.
Yeah.
It all came from just 2 blokes talking about football and getting the fact that Luke Freeman didn't play for Stevenage wrong in the very first episode. Yeah. But there you go. So we thank everybody, thousands and thousands of downloads. Absolutely brilliant. We thank everybody who's listened. If you see us at a game, do come and say hello. We really do appreciate it. And it's been a really, really great season. And am I allowed to quote President Trump? Because football was fun today. So we hope next season we're going to make football fun again. And that'll make the podcast more fun because we make America great again, make football fun.
I think you're right. I think we'll start winning a few games for God's sake, and I think today can only help that. Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
100%.
Cool.
Dave, say goodbye.
Bye. Enjoyed it again, Ben. Stat, been a pleasure as usual, mate, and hopefully we'll catch up soon.
Stat, say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on, Ben. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Don't celebrate my goals. See you later.
Even better back to Stewart. Oh, he turns the defender sweetly. Round the goalkeeper. And scores a magnificent goal at the top end.